For more than a decade, Siri has been one of the most recognizable names in technology. Ask Siri for the weather. Ask Siri to set a timer. Ask Siri to send a text. Millions of people have used Apple's voice assistant since it first appeared on the iPhone. And when Siri launched, it felt revolutionary. Talking to your phone seemed like something from the future. Apple was one of the first major companies to bring voice assistants into the mainstream. For a moment, it looked like Siri might become the next major way people interacted with technology. But something happened. The technology world kept moving. And Siri didn't seem to move with it. While artificial intelligence became more advanced, many users began noticing the limitations of Apple's assistant. Simple questions sometimes produced frustrating answers. Complex requests often failed. And compared to newer AI systems, Siri started feeling outdated. For years, that became one of the most common criticisms of Apple. The company that helped redefine smartphones appeared to be falling behind in one of the most important technology races. But now, a major question is emerging. Is Siri finally about to get smart? The reason people are asking this question is simple. Artificial intelligence has completely changed expectations. A few years ago, voice assistants were mostly command tools. You told them what to do. Set a reminder, play music, call a contact. The interaction was limited. Today's AI systems are very different. They can hold conversations, understand context, summarize information, generate content, and answer complicated questions. Consumers are no longer impressed by simple commands. They expect intelligence. And that shift has put pressure on every major technology company, including Apple. The challenge for Apple is significant. The company has built its reputation around creating products that feel intuitive and easy to use. If AI becomes the next major computing platform, Apple cannot afford to be left behind. Its customers expect more, its competitors are moving aggressively, and the entire industry is changing. That's why Siri suddenly matters again. For years, Siri felt like a secondary feature, something people used occasionally but rarely thought about. Now, AI is transforming digital assistants into something much more important. Instead of being a shortcut tool, AI assistants are becoming productivity tools, research tools, communication tools, and in some cases, decision-making tools. The expectations are completely different. Consumers don't just want Siri to set alarms anymore. They want Siri to understand what they're asking. They want context, personalization, and useful responses. Apple understands this. The company knows that the future of digital assistants looks very different from the past. That's why Apple has been investing heavily in artificial intelligence behind the scenes. The goal isn't simply to make Siri faster, it's to make Siri more capable, more useful, and more competitive in an AI-driven world. But improving Siri is not as simple as it sounds. Apple faces a challenge that many competitors don't. The company has built its brand around privacy. For years, Apple positioned itself as a company that protects user data. Customers trust Apple with personal information because they believe privacy remains a priority. That trust is incredibly valuable. But advanced AI systems often rely on large amounts of data. The more information an AI system can access, the more helpful it can potentially become. This creates a difficult balancing act. Apple wants Siri to become smarter, but it also wants to preserve the privacy standards that helped build customer trust. Finding that balance may be one of the biggest challenges facing the company. Another reason people are paying attention to Siri again is because the smartphone market is changing. For years, smartphones improved through hardware, better cameras, faster processors, improved displays, longer battery life. Those upgrades still matter. But increasingly, software and AI are becoming major differentiators. Consumers want devices that can help them accomplish more. The next phase of smartphone competition may not be about hardware alone. It may be about intelligence. And if that's true, Siri suddenly becomes much more important. The assistant could become one of the key ways users interact with their devices. That possibility is driving enormous interest throughout the technology industry. What's interesting is that Apple doesn't necessarily need Siri to become the most advanced AI system in the world. It needs Siri to become useful, reliable, and deeply integrated into the Apple ecosystem. Apple's strength has never been about winning individual technology battles. Its strength has been creating experiences that work seamlessly together. The iPhone works with the Apple Watch. The Apple Watch works with AirPods. AirPods work with Macs. Everything connects. Everything feels integrated. If Siri becomes significantly smarter, it could strengthen that ecosystem even further. Imagine an assistant that truly understands your devices, your schedule, your preferences, your daily habits, not in a complicated way, in a helpful way. That's the vision many people believe Apple is pursuing. Another factor working in Apple's favor is its massive user base. Hundreds of millions of people already use Apple devices. Siri doesn't need to convince users to download a new app. It already exists on their phones, their tablets, their computers, their watches. That gives Apple an enormous distribution advantage. If the company successfully improves Siri, adoption could happen very quickly. The infrastructure is already in place. The users are already there. The challenge is delivering an experience that meets modern expectations. Of course, competition remains intense. Every major technology company recognizes the importance of AI. Billions of dollars are being invested. New tools are being launched constantly. The race is moving fast, and Apple knows it cannot rely solely on its past success. It must prove that Siri can evolve alongside the rest of the industry. Because consumers are no longer comparing Siri to the Siri of 5 years ago. They're comparing it to the most advanced AI systems available today. That's a much tougher comparison. So is Siri finally about to get smart? The answer may depend on how you define smart. If smart means becoming a truly useful AI assistant that understands context, helps users accomplish tasks, and integrates seamlessly into everyday life, Apple clearly wants Siri to move in that direction. The company knows the future of technology is becoming increasingly conversational, more intelligent, and more personalized. The real question isn't whether Apple understands the challenge. It's whether Apple can execute quickly enough to meet rising expectations. Because for years, Siri was known as one of the first voice assistants. Now, Apple wants it to be known for something very different, one of the smartest. And if the company succeeds, it could reshape how millions of people interact with technology every single day.